Alright everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I'm Sean. This is In The Mixer. Happy Tuesday wherever in the world you happen to be watching from as we continue our FC Isle of Man series. Now, if you haven't gone and watched yesterday's episode, go and check that one out. It's going to bring you up to date with what we're doing this week, our plans for the rest of the week, the competitions that we're focusing on remaining, and all the other great stuff that comes along with the channel as we go through the series all the way up to the release of Football Manager 2021. And if you have watched that episode, you'll kind of remember that I cracked the shits a little bit. But today, it's a new day. New session in the game. We're going to load it back up. We're going to stay positive. We're going to get good results. We're going to carry on what has been a very successful, very fantastic season. And we're going to get back to winning ways. I can feel it. I'm very positive today. Let's jump straight in and see how we've gone. So, as you guys can see, we are currently sitting second in the division. 29 games played, 21 wins, 4 draws and 4 defeats. Plus 45 goal difference, the best in the division, and 67 points. Just one singular point behind top place Manchester City. And I guess, if you wanted to start with something positive, while yes, we've had a relatively poor run of fixtures, having conceded 13 goals in our last 6 games and 4 defeats along that period as well, Manchester City have had a similar run of it as well. They've only got 2 wins in their last 7. They lost to Watford, they lost to Newcastle, they lost to Leeds in the FA Cup 5th round. So it could have been a lot worse for us. We could have potentially fallen behind them by quite a bit more. While it is frustrating from our perspective that our Champions League run has come to an end, the board hasn't been too bad about it, which is good to see. They're frustrated, but they understand why we lost to PSG. I don't know if that's going to be something that changes throughout the course of the season. A 6-1 defeat on aggregate is pretty pathetic at any point to any side, and I would expect more and better from our squad. But we've still won the Community Shield, we're still in the FA Cup, we're still in the Premier Division. We can kind of win a treble. No European trophies in that, but we're still kind of on track to win 3 out of the 5. We've of course won 3 competitions last year. Maybe potentially next season we want to try and win 5 again, and then maybe if we squeeze one more season in before the release of FM21, maybe we can try and win all 6 competitions if we make the UEFA Super Cup. So there's a variety of different things going on, but we do want to continue trying to win as much as humanly possible. To do that, we're going to have to pretty much be relentless in the Premier Division itself, which I think is possible. We've got Tottenham in 3rd place today, a very, very big game. We've got Arsenal as well. They're a good side, but they're down in 13th this season. And Chelsea loom largest as 8th place side. I think the highest side on the table that we have remaining to play. Newcastle's in 6th at the moment, Bournemouth in 7th. So it's a couple of decent teams there, but again, teams that I think we should be beating and should be winning against. We did play Tottenham recently in the FA Cup 5th round, which you can see up on the screen now. Jose Santana, Bruno Castro getting the goals in a comfortable victory there. Pablo Rivera also missed a penalty. It was a relatively straightforward game. I'm hopeful we can have a similar performance and result against them and to pick ourselves back up after our disappointment in the Champions League. We're then in the second game going to play Southampton in the FA Cup quarterfinals. The FA Cup competition we've won twice. We are the reigning champions. We do want to try and win it again this season. And truth be told, the draws, not terrible. The final 8 sides like Chelsea, Watford, Southampton, Brighton, Leeds, Sheffield United and Leicester. There's no Manchester United, no Manchester City, no Arsenal, no Tottenham. There's quite a few sides that have already dropped out of that competition. Oh, yes, there are some good teams still left in there. Leeds and Chelsea, I think, loom as the 2 big ones. Moneybags, Brighton, we know they are a very good side as well. But, I think it's definitely a winnable competition for us. I think we can go out there and hopefully get some good results. But before we get there, we're going to focus on Tottenham in the league itself. We've got pretty much a full squad to pick from for the first time in a while, which is always fantastic to see. There's a couple of little knocks here and there, a couple of injuries elsewhere. We've got a few players working their way back into full fitness. We're going to try and bring on Medjugorje, Taylor and Schaefer throughout the course of this match to get them back to full fitness in the run home. But otherwise, we're in good position. So let's jump forward and have a look at the lineups. So, going first with our lineup, Mancini, of course, in goal, Esteban and Gazmi is the defensive partnership, Carlos Andre and Lucas Gabriel as the fullbacks. That back 5 has been pretty consistent all throughout the season. Henry will play as the DLP at the base of midfield, Santana alongside him as Bradley Taylor works his way back to full fitness. Paul Harrell takes the armband and will play on the left-hand side. Bruno Castro, a leading assist maker, will take the right. Martinez plays as the deep lying forward and Max Olsen will lead the line up top, our leading scorer for the English Wonder Kids so far this season. It is a very strong Tottenham lineup. There are a couple of familiar faces here that we'll talk about in a moment. They are, of course, playing a 4-2-3-1 because every club, every big club at least, in Football Manager 2020 plays a 4-2-3-1 for whatever reason. The first one, the most familiar face, you can see the fantastic Chilled Moose face pack still attached to Neil Peacock. We bought Neil Peacock when we first came up into the Premier Division, broke our transfer record, which stayed as the transfer record until this past year. £70 million from Chelsea. He was fantastic for us. He was the first England international we had. He was a brilliant wonder kid in our first few seasons in the division. You could see consistently scoring and assisting quite a few goals. Eventually, Manchester City paid his release clause to get him across to City. He did all right across those 4 seasons as well, averaged over 7 in each of the years he played. Perhaps would have liked a little bit more football, I'm guessing, in his time there. They've moved him on to Tottenham again for £74 million. £244 million paid across his career is ridiculous. And so far, 24 games this season, 7.1 average rating. He's having a decent year for the team from North London. Tottenham, perhaps more than any other side, pick up players from other top 6 sides more frequently, I think, than we see with a lot of the other teams in and around those areas. They've got some good English players as well. They've got Alex Millington in goal, who is a full England international. He's been in and around a few different squads. He was a wonder kid back in the day as well when he came through at Doncaster. He's been at Tottenham now, though, for quite a few seasons. No, sorry, he came through at Tottenham and went to Doncaster on loan. He's been at Tottenham his entire career, coming through what is a very strong academy for the Tottenham side, if you're on the lookout for free transfers releases and all that sort of stuff. Mateo Galland, we played Tottenham late last season, and he was magnificent in that game. A very, very good left fullback and wing-back option. 23-year-old Belgian, still a lot of football ahead for him, but he looks to be a very good prospect as well. They got Mohamed Bayer, who wears the captain's armband for them on the left wing. He's also very, very good. They picked him up from Manchester United. So they've got players that they're picking up from like Man City, Man United, a couple other teams around the league, really to try and make their squad stronger. He's a striker by trade. They're going to play him as a left winger, so I assume he's going to be an inside forward, but a very, very good player and can move up front when he needs to. The line is led by Juninho, their top goal scorer, 28-year-old Brazilian international, 4-star current and potential ability. He's a very, very good player. At 20 finishing, that kind of jumps out at you immediately as something that we'll have to keep an eye on. If they get chances, they likely will score them. But I think if we play well to the best of our abilities, we can get a good result. Passionately, we're going to say media have given a lot of credit lately. It usually does the trick, consistently gets positive responses, and we've got a free kick here inside a minute. Castro back post, and he's found Max Olsen for his 23rd goal of the season. That is a fantastic start from us, and really trying to get rid of some of those ghosts that might be stuck in the squad, or at least in the mentality of the squad from the ties against PSG that you guys saw yesterday. Good little header from Max Olsen. It was tough because we have a front line that all scores goals. Peacock with the ball in now, Gasby with the header away. And what I mean by that, they all score goals. Like, we probably didn't need to go and get another striker this off-season, but he's English, he's a wonder kid. Aston Villa went down. He had a relegation release clause. It seemed like a good time to pull the trigger on it, and he's been fantastic for us this season. Mohamed, left-hand side for Tottenham. Back to Galland. Just stand him up, boys. Don't do anything silly. Vetlugayev, the Russian wonder kid at the base of midfield. Van der Kraan, Toure, Bayer. Good little interchange of passing there from Tottenham. And tell you what, he had a whole lot of the goal to aim at them, but thankfully just screwed the shot wide of the far post. Galland throwing left-hand side. Tottenham just coming back into it a little bit here with the last couple of highlights. Vetlugayev, ball over the top to Juninho, who's well offside, and that's going to get brought back for offside, even though he has found a decent finish. They go to VAR and bring it back. Just call it immediately. Like, waste of time going to VAR in that instance, especially in a video game. There's a great video on the channel on the weekend, and the question I asked Sports Interactive, does it make our video game more fun watching a ref go to VAR? No, not really. And it's a video game. It's not the real life. Olsen again, second goal for him. A lovely assist there from Carlos Andre as well. Good deep free kick, good deep cross towards backstick again, and Olsen just peels off the shoulder of the defender. You can see Gabriel's the one that got forward for us, switched its side, it's headed away by Sepulveda, the right back for Tottenham, and then Andre just hangs it back post, Olsen peels off the shoulder again, nobody goes with him, and he heads home from effectively the exact same area that he got his first goal. And inside 10 minutes, we are 2-0 up. Peacock, wide free kick for Tottenham. Harold in possession now, Henri goes long towards Olsen, Gonzalez with a headed clearance for Tottenham. Martinez finds Olsen goal side. Can he find the finish for the hat-trick? He's not a bad save there from Millington. Puts it out for the corner. Lucas Gabriel to take. Wraps his right foot around it. Olsen again back post, and Millington again with a good save. Olsen is on fire so far in this match. He is right on top of getting a hat-trick. Again, we see this every episode. Take it out of the game, Sports Interactive, or at least make it a checkbox where I can say that it's not a notification. We've scored while I'm bitching and moaning about stuff. I should be more positive. That's what we said at the start of the episode. We're going to be more positive. And Abdelkader Gazmi, the ex-PSG wonder kid, has gotten a goal from the corner. Good near post header again. That little pocket of space is where all three of our goals have come from. And it's rare that we score 3 headers in a match, let alone 3 headers to go 3-0 up against a side in the opening 15 minutes. But things, so far, going incredibly well. And as Man City is still only drawing their game with Everton, we do go top of the table, at least momentarily. Castro with a deep ball in. Olsen again was there just over the crossbar as the keeper scrambled across. Ball in behind here for Martinez to chase down. Wide left area. Suissa, the English central defender. Good tackle. Comes back to Santana though. Henri now. Martinez. Olsen to Castro. It's cleared by the Tottenham defence. Gasby should reset in midfield for us. Santana. Martinez to Harold. Reverse pass towards Olsen. Can he make it a hat-trick? He can indeed. His 25th goal of the season and a hat-trick inside 28 minutes. A fantastic response from the young man. And we'll check it out here in 3 dimensions. The ball in from Castro, I think, was an excellently weighted pass. Martinez there finds Harold. Sorry, it was a ball in from Harold. I apologise. Just inside the defender. He's got 2 headers. He's got a left-footed goal. If he finds a right-footed finish, he's going to be on for the perfect hat-trick, even though he's already got the hat-trick. You know what I mean. 10 minutes remaining in the half. We're just going to use a sneaky demand more shout just to give everyone some focus through to the halftime break. If we can, this would be a great goal-boosting win, or goal difference-boosting win, and I do want to try and keep a clean sheet as well, just to try and get a good run going. Martinez won it back in a great area. There was a square ball there for Olsen to try and make it 4, but he goes the strike. It's a pretty tame effort straight at Millington. Lucas Gabriel with the throw-in finds Olsen across to Santana. Now Harold, to strike from distance, had a good amount of curl on it. I think the keeper did have it covered as it sailed over the crossbar. 2 minutes to be added on at the end of the first half, which we're through now. As the referee calls half-time, it's a dominant first half performance. 18 shots, 10 on target, 52% possession for the Isle of Man. 2 shots, 1 on target, 48% of the ball for Tottenham. We are going to tell everyone very happy the way things are going, and let's keep it up. And then I think really the only thing that we're going to keep an eye on is as we get towards the hour mark, we're going to look to try and bring some of those players on that we're trying to work back into full fitness. So the likes of Connor Medjugorje, Brad Taylor, Uli Schaefer, they will make appearances in the second half. Cut back there for Torre. It's closed down well by Santana. So a little bit of a sign of life there from Tottenham. We've got the overlap here though on the right hand side. Lucas Gabriel crosses poor. Bayer with a long one forward. Esteban with a good header in and amongst a couple of players. Santana finds Castro on the right with a good searching pass. Gabriel squares it up towards Olsen. It's pinballing around. They do manage to get it away. And now Peacock comes forward on the right-hand side. Just stand him up, boys. Don't do anything silly. Carlos Andre tracks him very well, it must be said. Harold keeps the ball in possession as well. Very good tracking run there from the defender. Thrown on the right-hand side. We'll let this highlight play out and then we're going to have a look at our subs. Mohamed Bayer has won it for Tottenham. Deep on the right-hand side. Henri does track him quite well. Santana with the header away. Torre back over the top to the left-hand side for Bay. Just stand him up, boys. Cut back for Robin van der Kraan. It's pinballing around, and Neil Peacock has managed to somehow... He nearly butchered this. So Mancini's save goes straight into the path of Peacock, and I'm pretty sure he hits the post. It comes back off the post and then hits him. We'll see it here. Bayer with the cutback. Van der Kraan with the good save. Mancini puts it back into a poor area. It does indeed. It actually takes Peacock having to tackle the ball over the line for Tottenham to pull one back. Signs of life for the team from North London. So we might drop back to our positive structure. Let's just try and kill the game a little bit in terms of our possession. We're going to take off Carlos Andre for Connor Medjugorje as he works his way back to full fitness. We're going to take off Jose Santana as well as we try and get Brad Taylor some minutes under his belt. We'll bring on Uli Schaefer with probably about 10 minutes remaining, depending on the score. Passionately, we'll say, I have faith in you. Get out there and make a difference. And we're also going to use a Get Creative shout. Old Faithful, after an hour, hopefully give everyone some focus and some incentive to try and find some more goals. Man City and Everton still drawing. It would not surprise me if we see City score in the 95th minute, just to break my heart, but potentially we could go back top of the division, which would be fantastic for us. Harold's won the ball back from Vert Lugaev and sent a ball down the line for Martinez to chase. Skips past one challenge of Suissa. Can he get a good ball back in the box? Square ball to Olsen, who's right there. It falls to Harold. I think this is going to get pulled back for an offside in the build-up because the linesman has not moved. They have ruled it out. Max Olsen apparently offside from that initial ball in. 10 minutes remaining. Medjugorje with a throw-in. We will make our last sub after this highlight. Gets a deep ball in towards Olsen again. It's cleared by the Tottenham defence. Now Gasby. Back across to Esteban. Into Taylor in midfield. First involvement from him. He does give up possession as well, but Lugaev wins it back. Now Juninho coming forward on the right-hand side. Crossfield switch to Kashiabu. And a good save there from Mancini. Got out quickly, made himself big. Do you want to make the sub before the corner or after the corner? We'll let the corner come in. Gasby with the cleared header. Van der Kraan looks to try and get it back in. Harold wins it back though, and the highlight comes to an end. So we're going to hit pause. We're going to make that last sub, and I think Olsen's got a hat-trick. We'll let him have a bit of a spell. Schaefer can come on as he advances forward and see if as he works his way back into full fitness, can't try and add to the scoreline. We're also going to use a demand more shout with a few minutes remaining in the half. Hopefully we can just find our focus through to the 90th minute. Harold with the corner, goes short to Castro. Cut back to Henry at the edge of the area. Can he get the strike in? He can indeed. Doesn't chip in with that many goals throughout the course of a year. He does play pretty much every game, but third goal of the season for him. A wonderful sealer to make it 5-1 against Tottenham. And surely guarantee us the 3 points. Castro with the crossfield ball there. Henry in acres of space. Has time to pick his spot. He's got a good angle at goal as well. Keeper was pretty well sighted all the way through, but it was low and hard, and he couldn't do anything to keep it out. Last highlight of the match, it should be. We're through the 3 minutes of additional time. Medjugorje find Martinez. They exchange pass from the throw. Backstick ball towards Castro. Falls to Lucas Gabriel, who manages to screw one in at the near post. I think this is going to get ruled back out, though. They're appealing for offside. It was Bruno Castro from that initial highlight. It was a good goal from Gabriel. He probably deserved it, given his effort. But the referee calls full time. If you had offered me 5-1 before the game, I 100% would have taken it. 22 shots, 13 on target, 49% possession for the boys from the Isle of Man. 13 shots, 6 on target, 51% of the ball for Tottenham. Passionately, we are going to say very happy with the result and the way that you played. And everyone has responded fantastically well, which is good to see. We do go top of the division. In the end, City could only muster a draw with Everton, which is a fantastic result for us. We're up on goal difference, 49 points. We're up to 70 points for the season as well. We just have to win our remaining games now. The title's back in our hands. We're no longer reliant on other sides getting good results for us. Max Olsen gets a 9.6 match rating for his fantastic hat-trick. We're going to give him a bit of praise as well. Lucas Gabriel's wanted by Sassuolo. He's not going anywhere, so I don't know why anyone would come in for him. He will see out the season and the series with us. And then Henry impresses Tottenham Stella, who's one of their scouts. So Tottenham watching their own games, that makes sense. They should be doing that. But again, he won't be going anywhere either. We do have, thankfully, a full week's gap before the match against Southampton, so we don't have to do any rest days or anything like that. And I think after a 5-1 win, the only change that we have to make is Lucas Gabriel coming out with a suspension due to yellow cards accumulated throughout the course of the season. We will bring Frank Richard onto the bench, just a little bit more coverage on that right-hand side if we need it. But magic of editing, unless anything big happens that I need to show you guys, we're going to jump forward to the match against Southampton now. And just like that, we are a week further ahead. So there is that one change that we spoke about, Furkan Yilmaz coming in for the suspended Lucas Gabriel. I'm also going to give a little bit of game time as well to Brad Taylor in midfield. It's suggested he can get through about 75 minutes, so we want to try and work him back into full match sharpness and conditioning for the run home in the season. We'll still get Jose Santana some time off the bench. He is also, Jose Santana, wanting a new contract. I have offered him one just to try and keep everyone happy. You will notice, actually, I don't think I've mentioned it before, we've got a couple of players that have effectively doubled their wages. Esteban, Bruno Castro, Arno, Henry, 3 or 4 of our players that we've had for a good few seasons that are down, like up towards that 5-star ability, they're now on 200k a week, just because we've got the cash finally. Like it's taken us forever. We actually are over our wage budget, so I should probably push that back across. I should be able to get more. Our finances are pretty good at the moment, aren't they? Yeah, £97 million in the bank. We should be able to get some more cash across to close out some additional contracts and deals during the off-season. And then next year, once we get a transfer budget, unless there's someone big that we want to go after, we will probably push most of that across into our wage budget to try and get some additional players a little bit of a cash bonus. We're going to make one other sub as well, just so I'm looking at it here. We might give Martinez a bit of a spell and bring on Uli Schaefer, just because we want to try and work him back to full fitness as well. And I do also have to make an adjustment because we only have 5 on the bench. So let's balance this out a little bit. Medjugorje can probably come off the bench. We'll probably just go with 1 defender, maybe 1 defender, 1 fullback, 1 midfielder, 1 winger, and 1 striker. So we'll put Rivera on there and give Mateo and Martinez a little bit of a spell. But otherwise, it's a pretty strong lineup. I don't think there's too much that we have to worry about. Really, we just want to carry on from where we left off last time out, getting a good result against a good side in the Premier Division, and getting our spot in the semi-finals of the FA Cup booked as soon as possible. Assertively, we're going to say go out there and carry straight on from where you finished the last match. And then if we can, at the end of this episode, if we get through and we are successful, we'll bring you guys the draw for the semi-finals as well. Wide free kick, Castro, very similar to the way the last match started. It's a good ball in. Harold at the edge of the area, though, recovers. Olsen square ball to Schaefer. Angelini manages to close it down well and clear for Southampton, but good early signs. Getting the ball into the box, getting men in and about. Through 20 minutes now without a whole lot happening. There is a highlight here on the right-hand side. Henry, switch across to Taylor, isn't the best, uncharacteristic from Henry. Great tracking run there from Taylor, though. Stops Descamps from skipping away with the ball in a 1v1. Angelini now, left-hand side. 2 men go with him. Just stand him up, boys. Don't do anything silly. Cut back towards backstick. Fabigu, it's a wonderful save there from Mancini, and then Carlos Andre does him a favour by staying alert and getting it out for the corner. Mancini's kept us in it there, or kept it at 0-0 for the moment. Descamps with the ball in. Henry with the clearance. Harold with the flick on. Angelini will recover possession for Southampton. They're just coming back into it here just a little bit. You know what we might do? We might switch to positive because we haven't had that many highlights of our own. And we're going to throw a demand more shout out there. Immediately we have a corner. Castro to take towards Gasmi back post, and it had a fair bit of power on it. It clipped the crossbar on its way over. If you had been able to get that header down, who knows if we had taken the lead. Schaefer to Carlos Andre. Tries to get a cross in that wasn't quite there. Descamps will get the resulting deflection. Square ball into midfield, and Ponsa. Now Host. Switch out towards Pinegar, the England fullback on the right-hand side. Narvaez, Host. They're very calm in possession. They're definitely playing that vertical tiki-taka. But just as I say that, Max Olsen's won it back in a great area. Wide right area. It's a good save from the keeper. And then Santos scrambles to put it out for the goal kick. That adjustment to positive. We've come back into the game with the last few highlights. Castro with the corner now towards near post. And Alberto with the header away. Host looks to try and set up a counter-attack. Taylor does very well to track him and win the ball back. Clearance is poor though. Back to Host again. Now Norberto gets a chance to turn on halfway and come forward for Southampton. Just stand him up, boys. Don't do anything silly. Cut back to Host at the edge of the area. Square ball to Amponsa. Just stand him up, lads. Gasmi goes right with him. Henri wins it back in a great area. And Olsen's gotten goal side again. Can he find the finish? Oh, that one. He managed to beat the keeper, but couldn't beat the far post. Just squiggles a shot beyond it. 1 minute to be added on at the end of the first half. We're through that now. So at halftime, we've had 14 shots, 6 on target, 58% possession, but not that many highlights that we've seen. So we're not creating like clear-cut chances. 1 shot, 1 on target, 42% of the ball for Southampton. I feel like we've seen probably more from them than we actually came through ourselves. Calmly, I'm going to say we're not doing badly. If everyone continues to work hard, we'll win this. I'm also going to calmly tell the defence that I'm looking for them to make the difference. There's a couple of 6.6s, 6.7s amongst that group. Really, we want to try and keep a clean sheet and then hope that maybe we can make some subs changes to find a winning goal. Angelini's picked up a knock for Southampton. He'll go off the pitch. Pinegar into Descamps in midfield, throwing on the left-hand side for Southampton. Host with a decent switch out to our old player, Luciano Fontana. Ball into Diego Norberto, and it's cleared away by Esteban right off the line. Olsen might keep it in. He doesn't. He just runs it straight out of play. But a little bit of a scare for us there in the second half. We're through the 60th minute, so we're going to hit pause and we're going to make some changes. Olsen's not played particularly well. We'll bring on Rivera for him. Taylor has struggled as well. We'll bring on Santana. Can we trust Schaefer to try and get through the 90 minutes? That's probably the big concern for us. We might hold off on the remaining subs. We'll do 2 now, and then we're going to do the last one with 10 minutes remaining. I don't want to do anything too risky. Passionately will say, I'm looking for you to make the difference for us. I know that you're capable. And then we're also going to use Old Faithful, a get creative shout after an hour. It usually does the trick inspiring most players, and most have responded positively. But really, we just need kind of, one real chance to go ahead. Good throw in there from Carlos Andre. Finds Henri, who puts a great switch out towards Castro. His touch takes him around the defender. He's tackled by the second man midfield though. Narvaez will clear and give it straight back to us. Henri and Furkan Yilmaz. They exchange passes at the base of midfield. Crossfield switch was poor. Harold was in behind, but it looks like it's now going to be Southampton coming forward. Favigu, square ball to Descamps, and it's a good counter-attack to Southampton. We're going to have to go attacking. We're going to have to go after it here. Otherwise, our season is pretty much going to whimper out with only a few minutes remaining. Jalma with the ball over the top there to Favigu. This is where he keeps a calm head. Square ball into Norberto. Norberto square ball to Descamps, and it's a good overlapping run from the midfielder, it has to be said, and a good side-footed finish into the side netting. Mancini can do nothing to keep it out. Throw in, right-hand side. Yilmaz finds Rivera. Cut back to Castro. Cut back to Henri. Castro's right there. Backstick ball towards Harold, and he's got the ball back in, but it's going to get brought back for offside. You can kind of already see that linesman not moving. We're going to throw a get creative shout in with 15 minutes remaining. And we do have one more sub up our sleeve. Let's try and make that one now. Harold, that's saying hasn't had the best game. Majidu's on the bench. Richard's on the bench as well for the other side. Let's go with Richard on for Castro. Try and get some further supply in the wide right area. And then if we can, we're going to throw out a demand more shout as soon as we're able to. And that looks like it's gotten focus out of most of the playing group. But no further highlights. 4 minutes of additional time to be added on. Is there any late drama in this one? We're through the 4 minutes now. And surely, we went through about 7 minutes, to be honest. And I feel like we've been a little bit robbed there. 20 shots, 9 on target, 59% possession. 6 shots, 2 on target, 41% for Southampton. They didn't have that many highlights. I'm going to say you weren't good enough today. And we fall at the FA Cup final stage. This week hasn't started particularly well. We fell out of the Champions League yesterday. We've fallen out of the FA Cup today. And really, it means that the most we can win is the Premier Division title, which at least we are back at top of the league. Henri got the Man of the Match award. We go down to hard-working Saints. They had 2 shots on target for the entire game. I don't know how hard they worked. Tottenham still watching Arnaud Henri. That's not going to affect his performances. He'll be fine. What can we do? Maybe we can just let's clear out the squad. We've got 11 days before the game against Arsenal. So let's clear the entire team selection. Let's give everyone a couple of rest days. There's a good few players going away for international duty, so let's use a full 7-day rest period. It's not like we were going to do too much training during that period with 16 players or 19 players and then 16 out on international duty. And then hopefully everyone comes back next Saturday ready to start preparing for the away fixture against Arsenal. What games do we want to bring you guys remaining for the week? Because now we're just down to one competition, which is a bit annoying. Maybe we will go Arsenal-Swansea. Maybe we just come back straight away tomorrow, play Arsenal away at the Emirates, play Swansea, who are down towards 19th in the division. Newcastle and Blackburn, they're both pretty straightforward games. Then maybe we do Leicester and West Ham on Thursday and Chelsea and Bournemouth to bring a close on the season itself. Or we'll wing it. We'll figure it out as we go. We could play Blackburn and Leicester if Leicester get back up towards the top of the table. Newcastle look like they might be on our outside. But we will come back tomorrow. We'll do the game against Arsenal. We'll do the game against Swansea. Positivity is tough when you get knocked out of competitions left, right and centre. So the most we can win now is the Community Shield and the Premier Division itself. So we're definitely going to do all we can to try and ensure that we win that competition and make sure we defend our Premier League title, potentially making it 3 Premier Division titles in a row. Positivity, guys. Positivity for the rest of the week. Let me know in the comment section below if you see me slipping, if you see me getting back to that negative headspace. I don't want to spend too much time in that area for the remainder of this week. I want to enjoy as much of Football Manager as I can as we get into the final weeks of this cycle of the game. If you want to help, support me, support our commiserations, help the channel grow a little bit, you can drop a like in this video. You can also subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on all of our future videos as they continue to release right up until Football Manager 2021 comes out. We've got competitions on the channel at the moment as well to try and win your own copy of FM20. Go and check out the related video for that on the channel. But really, more than anything, I just appreciate you guys watching. That's the part that means the most to me. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.